Hello everybody, hereby I'm sharing a quick video with you about my uniform and leather duty belt that I wear as a forest ranger and as a nature guide. I'm actually from the Netherlands, Europe, and I work partially for a nature conservation organization and as an independent nature guide as well, where I'm mainly organizing walks and excursions and tours for the public. The uniform that I'm wearing now, it's actually the uniform that I generally wear as a nature guide when I'm working under my own name or when I'm being contracted as a nature guide. It consists of dark green BDU style pants, a khaki shirt and this belt here. I had quite a few people asking me about this belt, what kind of belt it is, why I'm wearing this belt and what kind of equipment I'm wearing on my belt. So I decided to make a short video about it to show you and to explain that to you. I also had one of my new bosses who questioned me a little bit about this belt, since he believes it may not look that appropriate as a nature guide and that it looks too much like law enforcement. However, I believe it just looks professional and is quite practical to carry all my stuff as well. But I would really like to hear your opinions and feedback about that as well. So I'm actually unarmed. I do not carry any firearms or weapons, but just some essentials on my belt which I believe are useful to have with me when I'm on my tours in the forest. So the belt itself, it's actually the same belt that's being worn by many US police officers, also called a Sam Browne belt. It's a very wide and thick leather belt. It's 2.25 inches wide, 5.8 centimeters, consists of plain black smooth leather and has this typical two-pronged buckle here in the middle. So I'm going to show you the items that I'm actually wearing on my belt. So here I actually have a set of keys. Here I have a pouch which currently holds my cell phone, but it also fits a radio. Here I'm actually carrying my Swiss Army pocket knife. Here I have a pouch which contains a set of latex gloves, useful for emergency and first aid situations. Here I have a pouch which contains my first aid kit. It mainly contains some band-aids and so on. Here I have a D-ring for my old style mag light. Here I'm carrying a tactical flashlight. And here I have my Zippo lighter. Another nice piece of equipment that I still have is this water bottle holder. It's also a plain black smooth leather. It exactly matches the style of my duty belt, and generally I'm also wearing this bottle holder on my belt during the summer. So those belts are actually worn over a regular trouser belt using so-called belt keepers. Those belt keepers are actually belt loops with those silver snaps here on the left and right. And I have two of them on the back as well. And with those belt keepers you can actually easily remove and put on the whole belt again without having to remove all the equipment. So I'm going to show you how that works. If I want to take off my duty belt, I can just remove the belt keepers, two on the front, two on the back, and then just take off the whole belt with all the equipment. It works with a buckle and a hook, so you can easily unbuckle it like this. And here is the whole belt. I think it looks pretty decent. It's quite heavy, but yeah, I really like it. So I'm gonna put it back on again. And I'm gonna put the belt keepers back to hold everything in place. So those belt keepers, they actually wrap around both belts, your duty belt and your pants belt. And that's the way how it stays in place. And now everything is in place again. So the reason why I'm actually wearing this belt, it's mainly the look of this belt. I really like the professional look of those big belts on a uniform. I think they look quite professional and they also add something official and some authority to the uniform, which I think is also good sometimes to get some respect from some more respect from certain people. I really like the looks of this belt. The leather, the big buckle. It feels really decent, feels really nice. Secondly, of course, the practical part. So this belt really allows me to carry all my equipment on me in person. rather than having to stuff everything in my pockets or in my backpack. So I have all my essentials at any time on my belt. Thirdly, I also worked as a US park ranger in the past. And in the past, when I was working in the US, we were actually always wearing this type of duty belts. So it brings back some nice memories from those times. And I also actually like to share those stories about my experiences in the US with my visitors right now. So when people ask me actually about this belt, it's always a nice icebreaker to start my story about that. So I'd really like to hear your opinions about it as well, whether you think this belt looks good and professional and appropriate, or maybe not. So personally, yeah, I really like it. I'm really proud to wear this belt, but I would really like to hear your feedback about it as well. Thanks for sharing your comments.